Hello everyone. Today I'd like to go a bit beyond the whole Jonathan versus Buhari narrative. Personally, President Jonathan might as well not be running for presidency because I don't see him as an option at all. I mean, I recently watched a 2011 interview that he did for CNN, I think when he just came into the position with, I think it was Isha, and as I watched the interview, I thought, you know what, I might have voted for this man back then. I didn't vote because I wasn't able to get a voter's card. But watching that interview, he seemed credible. There was aura of hope that was just like exuding from him. I was thinking, okay, yes, this seems like a viable choice for the presidency and all that. But 4 years down the line, for me personally, he's burnt every bridge. Especially in the past year, it's just been horrible, one mess after the other, and I'm like, I don't see this happening for another 4 years. So for me, he's not even in the race. This is a man who came out and said that Jim Onwambodo only stole enough money to buy, he didn't say steal, but he said he only took enough money to buy a Peugeot, and Buhari put him in prison. And is that how things should be done? These are the words that came out of the president's mouth. Well, not verbatim, but he's basically condoning the theft of government funds. How else do you want to tackle that sort of crime? It's the same country where a woman who stole a cell phone was given a sentence of 15 years. But I'll leave that aside for now, and I'll take it to the Buhari camp of things. Now, initially, I was sort of leaning towards the whole Buhari thing because, well, it seemed like, there was this whole, the whole change vibe, vote for change. But recently, a lot of things have been coming up that sort of, are casting doubts on the whole, his whole campaign and his whole platform. One of the reasons why I think that a lot of Christians are refusing to vote for Buhari is because of the idea that he's going to Islamize Nigeria and that he's after creating an Islamic state. Now, I don't really want to go into this argument because I don't really know much about it. People have gone back into records and brought out statements that he supposedly made, insinuating that he was going to try and Islamize the country. So I know that is a big fear, but I don't really know how true or how valid these points are. The thing that bothers me personally is this allegation that, well, I don't know if it's an open secret or it's not even a secret at all, that during his time, that the whole war against the discipline and the crackdown on corruption wasn't really Buhari's brainchild, but it was more the brainchild of his vice, who was Idi Agbo at the time. Now, this is what really kind of scares me, because the whole point, or the whole reason why I was leaning towards, the Buhari camp was because I was thinking that this man is supposed to be anti-corruption and crack on every, evil thing and rout them out, but then it seems as though he's going to take a back seat. And I read an article recently that sort of insinuated that his own leadership style was to sit back and let his vice run the administrative part of things. So that sort of weighted me out a bit. So I'm not really sure if Buhari is the right to go. But at this point, Nigerians are so desperate that they would rather vote for Buhari at any cost than Jonathan. And it just goes to show how bad things have become. Because very simply put, a lot of people were rallying behind Jonathan 4 years ago, and so many people have dropped this man like a hot potato. People are saying that they would rather vote for Buhari, even if, that they would vote for Buhari even if he doesn't produce his WAG certificate. That if he brings the NEPA bill, they will vote for him. It shows how bad things have become, and it's really sad. It's really sad. Now, the way I see it, Nigerians' problems aren't going to be solved by placing some sort of figurehead in the position of leadership and expecting everything to magically change overnight. And I think that's where this whole Buhari thing might have a problem, because it seems like most of the support that Buhari is getting isn't actually support for Buhari himself, but support against Jonathan. People are rallying to just make sure that Jonathan doesn't get into power, and in a way it's a dangerous avenue to take, but it just shows how desperate the situation has become. Now, I don't think a figurehead is what is going to solve the problems that Nigeria faces today, because the whole system from top to bottom is a mess. From the tomato sellers on the road, to the bus conductors, to the senators, to the National Assembly, to the ministers and the local government chairmen, everything is upside down. I was at the airport the other day, and there was this lady in I think it was an immigration officer or customs officer's uniform. I'm not quite sure which of the institution she was representing, but there was this guy who had just come back in, I don't know from where, and his friend had come to pick him up. So they were loading the car, and this one kept on badgering them. She was like, "Where's my chocolates? What did you bring back from wherever you went to, blah blah blah." And I was beside, I could hear what she was saying, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for her, and she didn't seem embarrassed or anything. There was no shame. She was really just keeping on, and they just seemed to be trying to humor her. They were just smiling and trying to pack the bags, and pretty much just zoomed off after a while. And I'm thinking, this is the Nigeria that we live in. This is the system that we have, where it is certainly okay for a government official in uniform to literally be begging, because that's what it was. It's just some sort of stylized begging for chocolate or whatever, and I'm sure it's also not actually physical chocolate we're going to give her or what she was expecting. It's an embarrassment on us as a nation. It's an embarrassment generally, and it's not the system where if you just put one person in power who's supposedly, you know, he's full of integrity, he's accountable. If everybody else under him doesn't share his vision, if everybody else under him is just out to get their own piece of national cake, it's not going to work, because it's either he's going to join them or they're going to find some way to boot him out of office. And so the problem that Nigeria faces are issues that we need to, you know, tackle on an individual level as well, besides just placing some man and expecting him to, you know, wave a magic wand and everything will just magically go back in shape. Because let's face facts, it's not President Jonathan that drives on a one-way road facing the wrong direction. He's not the one that can't queue up at an MTN office. He's not the one that bribes his school teacher so that he makes sure he passes. No, it's we ordinary Nigerians that do these things, and we need to realize that we have the responsibility to create the Nigeria that we want. Till next time, bye.